Welcome to the Dice Tower, a series of video reviews about board and card games. Here are your hosts, Tom Vassell and Sam Healy.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
Sam Healy, welcome back, folks.
Today we're taking a look at Queendomino. Now, Kingdomino from Blue Orange Games was extremely popular. It, in fact, won the Spiel des Jahres, which is the biggest award in gaming. I believe you reviewed Kingdomino in the past.
I believe I did as well.
And that's because I was not a huge fan of it. I thought the game was okay. I didn't think it was bad. It just felt like you just took the tile and stuck it in your grid. And that was okay, but it felt like a single mechanism game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if Kingsburg will teach us anything, this one will be infinitely more valuable than the Kingdomino.
Is there a Queensburg?
Oh my God. No. You guys always kill my jokes.
Oh, you mean the queen is better than the king? Well, that's chess that teaches us that. But anyhow, anyway, this game came out. This is supposedly the gamer's version. It's a sequel to Kingdomino, but actually can be mixed together to basically make a bigger grid for each person, right?
Yes. You can play what would be the two-player variant, which is a 7x7 grid with everyone playing a 7x7 grid, yes.
Z,
let me explain it to you
how do we play this game?
now. In the game, players are trying to score the most victory points, and they are going to score those victory points at the end of the game based on a few different things. The game comes with this little handy-dandy score sheet, and you are going to score, just briefly here, I'll show you, for every 3 coins at the end of the game, you get a victory point. You are going to score each land type on your little kingdom based on the way the scoring works for all of them. I'll show you that in 1 second. And then you are going to score also the special red tiles, which are here on this board, which you can buy and place throughout the game. So, the general idea for scoring is each land type is going to be worth as many crowns as it displays times the size of the group. And so this being 1, each tile made up of 2 lands, even if they are the same, that still is 2. Then, you know, if at the end of the game I have this grouping here, let's say, that right there, that is 4 times 2 for 8 victory points, all right? And so that is how that is going to work. The way you place these tiles and the way you prepare for that scoring is fairly simple. Everybody gets one of these little tokens, and everybody has a starting location. Looks just like that. Here are the other 3 that I'll remove for now, just so I have the room to show you what's going on. So I'm just going to be showing you one location here, but everyone is doing this. You start with some money. You start with one of the little knights. And on your turn, the first 4 here are randomly placed out. The players pick the one they want in a random order. And then starting from the first tile, and these have been sorted numerically, so the lowest number at the top, highest number at the bottom, they are going to move their character. They are going to place this next to their kingdom at the beginning, and then after that they can go next to a matching tile, and so this one could later on touch this one here, or it could always touch the center. The center is considered wild for tile placement. And then they are going to move this to a new location they want. So I might want that one next round. Once all 4 of these are gone, we'll reveal 4 more. We will sort those 4, and we'll do it again. And this kingdom's going to grow for everyone up to a 5x5 grid. Cannot be bigger than that. However, there's a couple of steps in between taking the character off, placing the tile, and picking the new tile. There's a couple of new things in this game, especially if you are familiar with Kingdomino, where that was it. There are now some new options. So, I'll take the character off, I'll place this out. My next option is I can choose to deploy one of these knights to the tile I just placed and make some money. I am going to make as much as the size of the group I just put that knight into. And so let's say I did this first, and for my second turn, I played this here. I have to deploy it onto the new spots. In fact, if I had more than one, I could do both. I'll play it in there, I'll get 3 coins from the bank, all right? Next thing I can do is I can buy a tile, one of these red tiles. However, these have to go into these red spots, so I don't have any of those for now. And those are going to give me some special scoring opportunities possibly just straight up victory points, things like that. They are going to give me possibly knights, possibly the towers. I can also, on my turn, I can pay 1 coin and use the dragon here to burn down one of these tiles, leaving the dragon there and making one of these unavailable for the players after me for that round. And so let's say that for now, all I did was place the tile, move this over, and it would be the next player's turn. But let's say the game has moved on a little bit. It's a little farther into the game. It's progressed a little more. And I have acquired all of these places, let's say. So I'm just going to move the rest of these for now. And we are just going to take a look at this. So let's say this is the tile I just claimed. I'll place it right there. I am going to deploy a knight here. I am going to make 4 coins. And then I'm going to buy one of these tiles. The cost is right below them. And I am going to purchase, let's say, this one. How about that? Okay, I'm going to pay 3 and I'm going to purchase that one. They should be on the other side at first. So that was my setup mistake. So they should be on the gray side first because it'll tell you something else you might possibly get, mainly the towers and the characters. So let's say that I want to buy this one here. I would pay the 3 coins that it lists. I take it, and anything it lists at the very top, I'll take right now. In this case, the character. I then flip this over and I'd add it to one of my red spots, and it tells me how it scores at the end of the game. In this case, I'm going to get a victory point for each of these knights I have, whether I placed it out or not. So right now, that tile is making me 2 victory points. This one I just took, and this one that's been sitting there. And I could also now spend a coin, let's say, and burn this one down. Because I don't want anybody else to have it. It's free, and someone over there might want it. And that's it. This continues until the end of the round once all the players have taken all the steps and they've now put their character on the new tile they'd like to claim for the next round. We send the dragon back to his cave. These tiles all shift over. We reveal some new ones. And we move on to the next round. Now, some of these tiles give you towers, like this one here. When you take a tower and you build this, let's say instead of this one, I built this one, well, then in that case, I'm going to put a tower on that. And as soon as I have the most towers, or as soon as I have one, really, I'll take the queen. And the queen does 2 things. It'll give me a discount of 1 while I'm still holding it for any one of these tiles I'd like to buy. And if I still have it at the end of the game, I can put it somewhere, and it counts as a crown on that land type for scoring. As soon as anybody else has as many towers as me, though, they'll take it away from me. So there will be a battle going on during the game for the queen's discount and for her great bonus at the end of the game. This is going to continue until all the players are done, and then we score. So again, if I was going to score this right now, let's say I had, somehow I ended up with the queen, I would have nothing here, nothing here. This is 1 crown times 1 is just 1.1234 times 4 is 16. This one gives me 2 victory points for each separate different land type I have of a specific kind. So if you have one of these tiles, you want to spread those apart instead of group them together, possibly. So I would score that. And then I could put the queen somewhere, probably here, because it's the biggest place to get an even better multiplier. And that's pretty much it. Of course, I would also score my money. 3 is 1 victory point, so that would be 2 victory points right there. That gives you an idea of how the game works. The different types of tiles here are either straight up points. Sometimes they'll have crowns in and of themselves. Like this one here, it simply, makes a red area score just the same way that all the other areas score. Sometimes they will give you victory points based on the knights, victory points based on the towers, and then there's a whole slew of them that give you victory points based on different groups of whatever specific type of land you have. So in this case, this is the one I would want because it gives me 2 points for each of these that is separate. So 2, 4, 6. If I connect these, then that's just 2 points. And that's basically it. So that's an idea of how the whole thing goes. Quick and dirty look at it. That should explain more or less how the game feels and operates. Let's go back up top. Let's tell you some final thoughts about this one.
Okay, well, this is a very different game than Kingdomino. To the point where Kingdomino feels like a piece of Queendomino. All right. You know who cares about that?
Everybody.
All right.
No one saw the back till you turned it over. I'm just saying. I want to point that out.
Now, one thing I did learn, taking a look at Queen Domino and at King Domino, is that a two-player game plays very differently than 3 and 4. I think that the bigger grid makes a difference, to the point where if I play Queen Domino with 3 or 4, I'm going to want the King Domino tiles in so everyone can have a 7x7 grid.
Okay.
The bigger grid, the more I'm happy, because I have a little bit more room to fool around with.
Does the game go longer that way, though?
Yes, it will, but I don't think the game is long anyway. I mean, the box is 25 minutes. If you play with a 7x7 grid, it's not 25 minutes. It's probably
limit there. I mean,
it's 45 minutes. Okay, so before we get into this, you really like King Domino.
I do enjoy King Domino, and I completely understand what you're saying too. That it is sort of a one-trick pony. It's one mechanism. Now, I think engaging in that little activity of, ooh, I want that tile, and how do I hope this thing comes up. How do I fit this into my little 5x5 or 7x7 grid is a fun game, but it's a simple game, sure.
Yeah.
What did you think of King Domino?
I enjoyed King Domino, much less than you did, though. And I think that this one has actually replaced King Domino for me. I don't have a reason to play King Domino anymore if I have this available to me. Now, smashing the two together, that does sound interesting as well. But just comparing base game to base game, this one is light years better than King Domino, I think. Just because of the more choices you have to make within it, the different things that you can do.
Well, for me, I wasn't a huge fan of King Domino, so this easily replaced it, and I actually really like this. I think that this game here, you know, the terms have been thrown around. You even mentioned it when teaching me that this was the gamer version of King Domino, and the gamer version. But I point out to Z that I don't think that this version of the game, this Queen Domino, I don't think it's more complex than Carcassonne.
Right.
And Carcassonne is considered to be a beginner game. So why should I bring out King Domino ever when I can bring out this much more interesting game, Queen Domino? The only thing I could see that this would be different for new people is that I will crush you if you've never played before, likely. Because you're not really sure about what you're getting and how everything goes together. Because there are some tactics and things do snowball if you build your place properly.
Well, I do think that King Domino is definitely, out of the two, is the one that's much easier to teach.
Oh yeah, by far.
So I think that's what most people are saying when they say that this is the gamer's version of King Domino, is that simply this has more.
It's an evolution of it.
Yeah, this has more to it than King Domino did.
But I agree with you guys.
Yeah.
I think that this is, I mean, for me, in my personal opinion, I think this replaces King Domino for me too. It is.
No, you're both saying that now.
It is simply more interesting while utilizing everything I liked in King Domino.
Right,
Because ultimately, there is nothing in King Domino that Queen Domino pulls out to replace with something new. The entirety of King Domino is in this game.
Still there. Yeah.
And then some, right? So, and the then some is good stuff.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy very much. I think everything that was added to it is robust. And so, yeah, absolutely. Now, the only, for me, sort of, that this exists kind of relegates King Domino to a kids game, kind of, maybe / introductory game.
Yeah.
Like, I could very easily teach someone King Domino, especially if they are uncomfortable with a lot of rules and moving parts, to then, as a means to an end, to teach them Queen Domino.
Oh, that's interesting. Are you going to keep King Domino then?
I am, because I want to be able to combine them, and I still think there is value in it as almost as a teaching tool, where if I'm playing with kids, or definitely like non-gamers that I want something really straightforward for, So yeah, but I agree, it's everything the original game had with great new stuff in it,
I wonder, and this is just kind of thoughts that pop through my head, I wonder if this is the game he had originally as King Domino and they stripped it down because they were afraid that it might be too much. I wonder.
As far as I know, that is not the case.
Okay,
well, it's a blue-orange game, which means the component quality is high. I like the towers, I like the people. They're a little small, but I like them. I like the board, it looks gorgeous. The different tiles have different artwork, but they're easy to match. Great.
Yes.
Small thing I did not like was the money. I don't know why they have. I think they have a currency of 9, so that you at the end of the game can say that's a 3-point chip. But I'm telling you,
The pieces
for
are
people who are
1,
based at a
3,
10 point...
and 9, which is like, huh? And the 9, you have to be careful because it looks like a 6.
Yeah.
But there's a little crown that sits on top of the 9. You just have to be... Yeah, it's weird.
Right, so if I'm like getting 15 coins, you're like, all right, that's... because you're ready to say a 10. Okay, not a 10. Okay, where's the 5? We're just used to counting with 10s and 5s.
Sure. Yeah.
But, it's not a huge deal, but that would be the only negative thing. Other than that, the game looks fantastic.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's just neat to see your kingdom be built as time goes by.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you have anything negative about it?
No, not
I
really.
think my only sort of iffy thing is the same thing you're saying. The money is sort of a weird denomination. Everything else I think works. Even the little guys, that the little knights or whatever they are, which are very small. I still think it's okay that they are that small because they go right on the tile.
Yeah.
Once you put them on there, you sort of forget about it anyway.
Right.
So it's not problematically small.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do not neglect the knights. I should say that. I made that mistake the first time I played it, and I won't ever do it again.
You ran out of money?
Well, no, I ran out of knights, and then I ran out of money, and I couldn't.
So you're relegated to like the free build.
I couldn't get anything that I really wanted to. So, and the cool thing about it is that I had to go to using the dragon as much as I could, because I was going for a tower strategy, and so I wanted whenever a tower tile came up, I didn't have the money to buy it, so I made sure I used the dragon to blow it up.
See, at first I thought I would not like that aspect. That felt kind of mean.
Yeah.
Well, it is mean.
It is, right.
But you can only do it once per turn.
Right.
Anybody. And it's not that mean. I mean, really, it's meaner when you take that tile and leave the person with a tile that they have to put that they can't place. That's meaner in the game.
Correct, yes.
So,
Yeah.
But it makes the game a little bit more interactive, which I think is good for it. What are your thumbage?
My thumbage. I'm going to give this one 2 9 value coins up. 18 points for this game.
So would that be like?
Is that out of what?
Out of 18, baby.
That's
Who doesn't use 18-point rating scale?
It's like an 8.5 on a 10-point scale, right?
Yes, it is. It's correct, yes. So 2 thumbs up from me. As I said, I think it has everything Queendomino has, quite literally, and then some really great stuff on top of it, which simply for me makes it a better game.
I also enjoyed the game. I'll give it 1.5 chess queen pieces up. The queen's a powerful person.
He's bringing that joke back.
The queen, Queendomino, murders Queendomino for me. Regicide for sure. Really like this
Regicide.
game. Hey man, vocabulary word of the day.
Regicide.
Okay.
But I really like it. But I think I like it best at 2. But what do you got?
I'm going to give this one, you guys. I'm going to give this 2 towers. 2 towers. Thowers.
2 towers up.
They're thowers.
Full 2
They're
towers.
thumbs. They're thummy towers. But anyway, I'm going to give it 2 towers up. I really did enjoy the game. It completely does away with Queendomino as far as base game usage is concerned. Again, I think having both is warranted so that you can smash them together and maybe use Queendomino in those other situations that Z talked about.
Right.
But as far as base game to base game is concerned, Queendomino wins hands down as far as how much I like it.
Alrighty. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Thanks, everybody.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side, folks.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.